Cool. So on this session now, I'm just going to press stop on that, put my video on a second. So on this session, this is the last session. It'll be a very quick session, 10, 15 minutes, okay? So we've been going like an hour now since we started, so I've kind of broadly kept to my timings. So this session is kind of like a napkin session. I'm going to share with you on a whiteboard something that any of you could sketch out, whether it be face to face or, on a call like this. I'm literally going to be drawing it on my mouse, so it won't look pretty, but it will get the message across. So let me share this with you. This will show you how powerful the concept is when you're sharing Botsy with others. Okay, really, really powerful. So I'm just going to make some space. I'll title that there. And I need to do that with that remove pin. There we are.
In the meantime, I have an urgent question.
Yes, I am.
Uh, can I use Botsy with LinkedIn?
Yes, you could use Botsy anywhere.
Because I have a huge amount of contacts there into the business. And that's huge. And with the commands you bring in your Facebook post on David Wood, you can exactly do the same in many businesses around LinkedIn. And,
100%.
and there are the huge guys.
Yes. Well, and the good thing about LinkedIn as well is that you will often find serious networkers on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
The quality of people you're connecting with is much higher. So, very, very good point. You can use the content from the attraction marketing bot anywhere online, anywhere. You don't have to be limited to Facebook. Obviously, you want the people that you're working with or talking to be on Facebook, okay? But they don't need to be, you don't need to be connected with them on Facebook. And they don't really need to use Facebook. They just need a Facebook account. That's it. So, if they only use Facebook to chat to family and friends, and you've found them on LinkedIn, the bot is simply a mechanism for sharing the business opportunity with them using Facebook as a vehicle. That's all it is. So you could still do that Zoom call. You could still say to them, look, can you log into your Facebook account because you need to be connected to it to share the bot with them, and then you share the bot with them, and they can go look at it. Um, because here's the thing, Facebook is just like a CRM, a customer relationship database. That's all it is. And so when you get the email notification from Botsy saying, Joe Blogs has just opened up your bot, you're getting that because Facebook knows that that's Joe Blogs. And Facebook shares that information with us so we can then share it with you. That's how it works. Nothing more complicated than that. So
Right.
yeah, great question, Jan. Um, awesome. So right, let me get into this final session here. Thank you. We can have more questions at the end as well. I'm just conscious. I want to just kind of keep things to a program. So let me just create some space here. Great. I can't see comments and stuff like that right now. Let's have a look. Hang on a second. Let me just reorganize things. Okay, that's up there. Now I can. Right. I'm just going to basically draw a picture for you. So let's bring out the pen. And I'm basically going to draw a horizontal line here. And I'll do a line here. So I'm literally going to draw a picture with four quadrants. Okay, so a first one up here, I'm basically going to put a B and I'll put another B here. B for Botsy, basically. And the top one here, this is where someone's not using Botsy. Okay? And then the bottom one here, I put a tick where someone is using Botsy. Okay, so effectively, that is setting the scene. So across the top here, they're not using Botsy. Down here, they are using Botsy. And think of it like this. When it comes to prospecting, you're basically looking for one second. You're basically looking for a yes or a no, aren't you? You're looking for a yes, but you know you're going to get a no. or some no's. Not everybody's going to say yes. So effectively, you've got a yes and a no. And down here, when using Botsy, you've got people saying yes and you've got people saying no. So the context here is I can kind of show you that if you're using Botsy, you should be able to be getting more yeses and increasing your conversion, and two ways in which you can do that. So this could literally double, treble your conversions on the number of people you're speaking to. So if you imagine you're speaking, for example, to let's say 10 people, and you're not using Botsy, for every 10 people you speak to, maybe you'll get, say, one person saying yes, which basically means nine people have said no. Correct? Obviously, that number's going to vary. For some people, that might be they have to speak to 50 people to get one person to say yes. If someone's a big influencer, big networker, big following, and it's a low ticket product, maybe they only need to speak to five people to get one person to say yes. But, 1 in 10 would be a pretty good number. Now, if you're using Botsy, bearing in mind, if you're focusing on building interest and you're letting the tools handle a lot of that follow up, and in terms of how you're automating the follow up, how you're following up with the people that are taking action and who are most interested, and all that kind of stuff. And also, like, let's face it, the bot will let someone sign up without you even speaking to them. Okay, so you could be in a situation where with Botsy, you speak to 10 people and actually you get two people buying, not one, but two. You've doubled your conversion, which means obviously you've got eight people saying no. But in that scenario there, obviously you're making money here and you're making money here, but you're making more money because you've got more people saying yes for every 10 people or whatever you're speaking to. Obviously over here, there's no money, right? That doesn't exist because you didn't make a sale. But this is where it gets really interesting with Botsy, because not only are you getting more people say yes because you're focusing more on building interest and letting the tools do a lot of the follow-up, you've got more time to focus on bringing more people into your business in terms of your funnel, if you like. But for those people that say no, I mean, I spoke to someone on Friday where he literally stopped the conversation here. Like most people would stop the conversation here. Someone says no, and that's it. Okay, no worries. Off to the next person. They're not going to waste time speaking to the no's because they're not interested, right? Well, with people, when you're using Botsy, you could literally just ask one question. You could literally say, okay, no worries. Well, what are you doing? You know, what are you promoting? Because if you're targeting network marketers, which is ideally where you do want to target, people are open to opportunity and they're promoting stuff, people that already have a network and a following and all that sort of thing, they're likely to be a network marketer. So if you're targeting a network marketer, you say, okay, no worries, what are you doing? And they could turn around and say, okay, I'm actually promoting Live Good, for example. There's 2 million people on the planet promoting Live Good. And obviously we've got 40 companies now in the marketplace. So with 40 companies in the marketplace, the likelihood is that the people you're speaking to are promoting some of those companies. Okay. And what's cool is you can even be friend requesting people that are promoting those companies because they can be part of your target market. So if you made sure that people you connect with in your audience are already promoting companies in the marketplace, then that makes life even easier. So you literally turn the conversation around and say, no worries, what are you promoting? What are you doing? And they might say, okay, I'm promoting Live Good. You can then say, okay, awesome. How long have you been promoting that for? Them for? And they might say 2 years. For other companies in the marketplace, they might say 10 years. There's companies in the marketplace that have been around 40 years. So they might say, okay, we Live Good. Yeah, I've been promoting it a couple of years. I've got a team. A team of 1,000 people is not unheard of with Live Good. So let's say they've got a team of 1,000 people. Well, you could literally turn around and say, awesome. Well, are you using Botsy to promote Live Good? And they're likely to say, no, not heard of it, or, oh, I've heard of it. What is it? How does it work? Well, you don't need to sell them on it. Just show them. Literally, just say, look, let's jump on a call. I'll activate the Live Good bot right in front of your eyes. Takes 5 minutes. So you can see how easy it is. That's super powerful, right? If you think about that post I showed you earlier from David Wood, he was saying about how difficult most tech is, how most people fail because the tech's too complicated. So if you jumped on a call and you activated that bot in front of their eyes in 5 minutes, which you can do, guys, it's actually easy to do. I did it in 10 just by taking it through us, differently. But you can do it in 5 minutes or less pro when you practice. So if you did that in front of that person and then you shared your bot link, the Live Good bot link with them. Now, bearing in mind, if you're not in Live Good, um, they won't. They're obviously in Live Good, so they don't need a sign up link. What they'll be doing is coming into the Live Good bot to see what's in it. That's what they'll be doing. So it kind of means they'll be checking it out to see whether it would help them present their opportunity. They're going to know that better than you, right? So you share that bot link with them. They can come and have a look at it. Guess what? You're going to get notifications through on your phone, aren't you? When they go through it. You're going to know how interested they are according to whether they click on every button. If they click on every button, you saw the mind map, you're going to get all these triggers coming through all the way across the bot. You're going to go, blimey, my emails have lit up like a Christmas tree. This person loves this product. And the cool thing is, you could, bearing in mind, stay connected is the S of Botsy, send them through a screenshot of your email notification, i.e., show them how you know that they're looking in your bot right now. That will give them insights as to how they can use the product if they were using it themselves within their team, won't it? Right? And the cool thing is here, they might be looking at a video that right now is sitting on a funnel or sitting on a YouTube page, right? The same video, but we've put that inside Botsy. So when someone shares a YouTube link, does YouTube send you a notification when your friends watch the video? Of course not. But if you got it inside Botsy, yeah, you get the notification through. So you can be using this as a tool to bring other people into your Botsy team when somebody says no. And that's going to earn you extra money, right? Has to. And you've got 8 people saying no. So you might find, more than one of those 8 say yes to using Botsy. Here's the really cool thing, though. Do you want to see the really cool thing about this, though? I know you do. Thank you, Natalie. I know you're desperate for this. You're already in. So, because Botsy builds 5 levels deep, right? You bring somebody in here who said no to you. They might have a team of 1,000 people, right? If over the next 10 months, let's say 100 of their people bought Botsy from them in your 5 levels, that's typically be worth about $20 per sale, right? 20 per sale. So that as a whole would be worth about $2,000. That one conversation of somebody that said no. That's how powerful that can be. From one person that said no, that could be worth $2,000 a year for you as a residual income because they're paying annually, etc. And that's just from one person that said no. So how often do you speak to 10 people? If it's 10 people a week, and you could be building out of that, over a year, a $2,000 a week residual income. I mean, that's 100 grand a year, isn't it? Just from people that said no. I mean, that's where Botsy does something that I haven't seen any other company out there in the market do. None of them can do it like that. I've seen platforms like Systemia and stuff like that. Those kind of platforms. There's one company, I won't name it, it's in the marketplace. It took me a day to set up the funnel. A day. It took other people I know a week. It took other people where they had to pay somebody to do it for them, like a couple $100 to set up a funnel for them. And but it took me a day. So clearly that's a barrier to entry if you've got technical thing like that to do. So this napkin like layout, literally it's a cross with a bot B on the left with a cross through it, B on the left with a tick on it. You know, 1 in 9 with Botsy, maybe 2 out of 8, or 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10 on when you're using Botsy. And the fact is, over here on this bottom right hand corner, you're literally able to tap into something that no one else can do in the marketplace. And you're importing those teams, if you like, into your downline inside Botsy. I would predict that if you did this consistently now for the next 12 months, in a year's time, you would end up having a downline in Botsy where it would represent 100 different companies in your downline in Botsy. Literally 100 different companies. Because what will happen is, if you imagine these 100 people here, they were they were using they were promoting Live Good, right? Firstly, some of them might change companies, but also if they were using the same approach here with their prospecting, i.e., across here, they're speaking to 10 people, 2 say yes, 8 say no, and then from the people that say no, some of those say yes into Botsy and introduce their team. Some of those people are going to be promoting other companies, not Live Good, aren't they? Right? Because these people here are promoting Live Good. So they're going to be finding yeses here with Live Good. But the people that say no could be promoting other companies in the marketplace. This is where the scope of this is insane. I'll take it a step further. You've got the marketplace. We've only got 40, I say only, we've got 40 companies in there right now. I could probably add a naught on that. I could probably have 400 companies in that marketplace. Like we might be a tenth of the way through on where we'll be in 3 years' time, right? A tenth. So somebody's got to add those companies in. So some of those people that say yes to you can be promoting other companies. I've already got somebody that joined Bots in the last week, and he left me a message on my voicemail today with 3 other companies from 2 other contacts that he wants to add into Botsy. So this happens like that. And you can be doing that too. So the setup process for bringing people into Botsy, it's not that difficult. It's literally like it's almost like, okay, how would you pitch me your opportunity? It really comes down to that. And so what will happen is some of these people that say yes or no here, but particularly the ones that say no, might be promoting another company. So think of this. Imagine you introduce somebody into Botsy that said no, but they introduce a new company into Botsy, right? Now, what does that mean? Well, I'll just use a different color whilst I'm just cluttering this all up. So you've got one person there, okay, that you brought in. One of these people here. And they put a new company into the marketplace. What they're going to then do is bring their team in, all right? So now, whatever that team is, could be a couple hundred people, could be a lot more. They're going to buy in through that person. So that person there is your level 1 on Botsy's on your compensation plan through Botsy. Their team will then be in your levels 2, 3, 4, 5. But here's the interesting thing. I already have people, I'm going to put an M there. I already have people that are finding Botsy on Google and coming to the marketplace and are buying the bot through the marketplace. They're not affiliated to anybody. They're not a part of a team. They're coming to the marketplace and buying. So this is where it gets insanely cool, guys, because you can have someone that says no to joining your team, and they bring a new company into the Botsy marketplace. They bring their team in, but then you're literally getting free sign-ups from the random internet from people that just come into Botsy and buying it through their link in the marketplace. And you don't even know who these people are. You're literally building a team, and bearing in mind that those people that find it through Google, they will be your level two, right? They're not like at level 5 or level 10 where you don't even get paid, right? The level one will be the person you introduce that sets up into the marketplace. The people that buy from the marketplace are your level two. So that person might be, I don't know, might be a big leader themselves, where they didn't want to be affiliated to anybody. They go, okay, I don't want to buy through to be direct. I want to buy directly from the company, you know? So they do. They become your level two. They then introduce their team. You've done nothing. You don't even know who they are. So this is insane, right? That there could surpass the income you make from the yeses here, right? That's how bonkers it is. Right. So there we are. Look, this is very cool. Very, very cool and really, really powerful what I've shared with you here. You guys are seeing it first, okay? Really are in a kind of power position for seeing this first. Um, I'm gonna stop the recording and just open things up for final chat and questions.